1816. Could Jiffy Sigurdsson's impending move to Everton be off? The saga has rumbled on for some time, with Swansea demanding £50 million for the star man. Everton have had 2 bids rejected for the Icelandic playmaker but remained hopeful of tying up a deal. According to the Telegraph, a £45 million fee with add-ons was agreed, but Everton have now tried to renegotiate the switch. It is reported there is a discrepancy of little than £5 million between the two clubs, and Swansea are now ready to pull the plug. Could be a huge blow for Ronald Koeman. Sigurdsson in action. Image Rex features 1810 Holland boss Dick Advocaat admits he will have to deal with things if Virgil van Dijk's Southampton standoff remains unresolved. Liverpool and Chelsea are both keen on the defender. £60 million Dutch centre-back who has been ordered to train alone after telling Saints boss Mauricio Pellegrino he wants to leave. He still has 5 years left on the 6-year deal he signed last summer to make him the club's highest-paid player. And fuming St Mary's Chiefs insist they will happily leave Van Dijk rotting in the stands until he shows a willingness to come back into the fold. That could have a big knock-on effect for Van Dijk's international aspirations in World Cup year. I'm not the kind of boss who is on the phone all the time. But I'm watching the situation every day. And I will deal with things if they don't change. Virgil van Dijk vies with Eden Hazard. Image up Getty 1742. Some news that will be music to the ears of Liverpool fans. Barcelona are reportedly closing in on a deal for Borussia Dortmund winger Ousmane Dembele. Bild reports a delegation from the Spanish club is travelling to Germany to discuss a deal with Dortmund. Should they land the Frenchman, they are likely to cool their interest in Coutinho for 12 months at least. Or could they go for both? Dembele is wanted by Bacca. Image Reuters 1734. Sead Kolasinac admits Arsenal's German connection has helped him slot easily into life at the Emirates. Kolasinac looks set to be a hit at Arsenal following his free transfer arrival from Bundesliga side Schalke. The Germany-born Bosnian international announced himself with an eye-catching Community Shield display in which he scored Arsenal's equaliser before they went on to beat Chelsea on penalties. He has joined German trio Mertesacker, Shkodran Mustafi, Mesut Ozil plus Swiss midfielder Granit Xhaka at Arsenal, who also all have experience of Bundesliga experience. Left-back Kolasinac, 24, said what made things easier when I arrived was that I had a lot of players here with whom I could speak to in German. There are few players who have helped me with things like where to live, where to go out in the evening. The team have really helped me. After I signed, Granit sent me a message and that pleased me. It made it easier to come here because you get to a new club and don't know anyone, which makes it exciting and nerve-wracking. It was nice to have had contact with him before and I was happy that he sent me a message. I've had contact with him over WhatsApp since, and it definitely made things easier for me. Image AFP 1700. Luton Town have made the 9th signing of the summer after landing striker Harry Cornick from Bournemouth. The 22-year-old has signed up for an undisclosed fee and penned a 2-year deal at Kenilworth Road. Hatters boss Nathan Jones had this to say on the club's website: "I've been an admirer of Harry's for many years now. We tried to get him last year, but it wasn't possible, so when we knew he was available this time, we went straight into him. Fair play to the board. They've backed me once again on another signing which will provide extra competition in the attacking area. He's different to what we've got. He can play wide, but we see him as a real quick front man who is a good He's at the tip of being potential, but he's not a young 1.170. Tonight's big match sees Manchester United face Real Madrid for the UEFA Super Cup in Skopje. While this should be a step about the recent spate of pre-season friendlies we've been watching, there's a big subplot brewing. Where will Gareth Bale be playing his football this season? Ladbrokes say the Welshman is 54 to be a Manchester United player by the end of the transfer window. He's a 92 chance to land at either Chelsea or Manchester City, while Bayern Munich and Paris Saint-Germain are both priced at 121 to snap up the former Spurs man. Get all of the latest odds from Ladbrokes here. Ladbrokes 1642. A done deal at Turf Moor next, as Burnley have just confirmed that they have signed goalkeeper Adam Legzdins from Birmingham City on an undisclosed fee. The 30-year-old former West Brom and Derby stopper is the club's 5th signing of the summer and has penned a 2-year deal with the Clarets. 1637 Bolton have handed new contracts to manager Phil Parkinson and assistant Steve Parkin. Wanderers secured promotion back to the Championship at the first attempt last season, but lost the season opener at home to Leeds on Sunday. "I'm delighted to have agreed the new contract and am looking forward to building on the success we enjoyed last season," said former Bradford boss Parkinson. "I'm also delighted to have signed a new deal and we're all relishing the challenges that the Sky Bet Championship will bring this season," echoed Parkin. 1622 Leeds have announced that Gaetano Berardi has signed a new 3-year deal with the club. The Swiss fullback has committed at Elland Road until the end of the 201,920 season and joins Calvin Phillips and Tyler Denton in signing new contracts with the club in the last week. The 28-year-old limped out of Leeds' 32 season-opening victory against Bolton Wanderers at the weekend. 1601 Former Manchester United star Paul Parker believes Anthony Martial and Chris Smalling should both leave the Red Devils for separate reasons. Martial has been heavily linked with a move away from Old Trafford this summer, with a swap deal for Inter Milan's Ivan Perisic mooted. Smalling has fallen out of favour with Jose Mourinho and looks set to be used as the Europa League champions' fourth-choice right-back this season. Speaking exclusively to 888 Sport, Parker believes the French forward is unhappy and needs a change, while the English centre-back should seek game time elsewhere to make England's World Cup squad next summer. "When you look at him as a player, he really doesn't look like he's enjoying himself," said Parker about Martial. "If anyone could tell me that they've seen him smile on a pitch, then I'd say they must have a 200-inch television that's picked up the slightest flicker at the side of his mouth. You don't see him play with any smile on his face. There is nothing in him and he's not relishing the challenge." Read on here. 1543 Non-league hotshot Courtney Baker-Richardson is on the brink of signing for Premier League Swansea City, report the Coventry Telegraph. The former Coventry Academy graduate has also attracted interest from top-flight rivals Leicester City, who took the centre-forward on a 2-day trial last week after he caught the eye of the Foxes management starring for National League North side Leamington. But the Swans have nipped in and offered the 21-year-old a 2-year deal at the Liberty Stadium, where the player was due to complete his medical today. A statement on Leamington FC's official website today confirmed the club would like to inform supporters that Courtney is currently in talks with Swansea City Football Club. "We will endeavour to keep you informed should there be any further developments." Action images via Reuters. 1529 Ian Wright says Arsenal should do their utmost to sign one-way Southampton defender Virgil van Dijk. The Dutchman has been linked with a move away from the South Coast club all summer and handed in a transfer request on Monday. In his statement, a fiery Van Dijk hid out at the club and rebuffed any suggestion that he had refused to train. It now looks certain that the defender will leave with Liverpool, Chelsea and Manchester City, all likely destinations for the 26-year-old. However, Wright believes Arsenal should be throwing the hat into the ring. "We haven't signed the players that people are constantly talking about, who are going to lead Arsenal," said Wright on BBC Radio 5 Live. "At some stage during the season they're going to need those players, and that is where the test is going to come. Now it's Leicester, Stoke and Liverpool just to start, and the pre-season hasn't gone fantastically. I would have definitely tried to get Van Dijk. I would be going in very strong." Action images via Reuters. 1516 Borussia Dortmund are holding firm in the valuation of Ousmane Dembele after rejecting a bid from Barcelona. The French forward is on Barcelona's shortlist of players who could replace Neymar after the Brazilian swapped the Nou Camp for the Parc des Princes in a world record €222 million deal earlier this month. The Spanish club had an €80 million offer for Philippe Coutinho rejected by Liverpool and also made an approach for Dembele. Catalan paper Sport says Dortmund rejected that bid, understood to be in the region of €70 million, as it included too many variables and is also well below what they consider to be his worth. Sport claims Dortmund want at least €100 million and are in fact holding out for closer to €110 million. AFP 1500 The transfer window is in full swing, with hundreds of millions of pounds already spent this summer as sides throughout the land try to strengthen the squads ahead of the big kick-off. Paris Saint-Germain smashed the world transfer record last week with the £200 million signing of Brazilian superstar Neymar. Closer to home, both Manchester clubs have been splashing the cash, with the likes of Romelu Lukaku and Nemanja arriving at Old Trafford, while City have signed Bernardo Silva, Kyle Walker and Ederson. Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal and the rest of the Premier League clubs will also be unveiling new faces before the window shuts at the end of August. Those awkward pictures of players holding up the new replica shirts is the culmination of months of work, with plenty of goings-in behind the scenes before a deal can happen. So what has to happen for a transfer to be rubber-stamped? Here are the 10 steps of every transfer, courtesy of our colleagues at the Liverpool Echo. Image Getty Images Europe 1446 Juventus are reportedly considering the idea of taking Roma midfielder Kevin Strootman. Strootman, who has previously been linked with a move to Manchester United, is being considered as an option as Juve look to bolster the midfield. However, Juve are apparently not willing to pay his release clause and will have to negotiate with Roma. Image of Getty Images 1436 Mike Walters Watford have completed the £11.2 million signing of Brazilian winger Richarlison on a 5-year contract, and the Hornets are leading the chase for Burnley striker Andre Gray. Richarlison is clear to make his debut in Saturday's Premier League opener against Liverpool at Vicarage Road after he was granted a work permit by the Home Office shortly after 2 p.m. New Watford manager Marco Silva is looking to add more firepower before the weekend, and Mirror Sport understands the Hornets have had 2 bids for 26-year-old Gray rejected by the Clarets. Although the first offer of around £18 million was rejected out of hand, Watford believe they could yet thrash out a cut-price deal for Gray because the former Luton striker is in the last year of his contract at Turf Moor. Gray scored 9 goals in 26 games last season, despite the distraction of a 4-match ban for homophobic references in historical tweets. Richarlison's arrival, meanwhile, is a timely boost for Silva, who is likely to be without Troy Deeney this weekend as the skipper steps up his recovery from a groin operation last month. The under-20 international scored 15 goals for Rio club Fluminense before Watford beat off competition from Dutch giants Ajax for his signature. Richarlison watched the Hornets' 0-0 draw with Real Sociedad from the stands last Saturday as he awaited Whitehall clearance for his transfer. 1432 Mohamed elneny has maintained he is staying at Arsenal after rejecting a move to Leicester. The Foxes moved for the Egypt midfielder, 25, last month and had a £10 million bid accepted. Only for elneny to decide against the switch. "I am staying at Arsenal this season," he said after playing the whole 90 minutes of the Gunners' Community Shield win. "I am 100% focused and will give my best to the club day after day." Elneny moved to the Emirates in January 2016, but he made just Premier League starts last season. He didn't play at all in the club's final 8 top-flight matches of the campaign. Leicester boss Craig Shakespeare was keen to offer him regular first-team action at the King Power Stadium, but elneny chose to stay in London. Shakespeare refused to comment when asked about his failed attempt in Asia last month. But elneny has made it clear that he is determined to fight for his Arsenal future. He added, "There has been a lot of criticism recently and I wanted to prove that I deserve to play for a big team like Arsenal. That was my best game for Arsenal. Winning the Community Shield gives us momentum ahead of the new season." Image Action Images via Reuters 1417 Rangers midfielder Harry Forrester is attracting interest from a number of Championship and League One clubs. The 26-year-old can leave Ibrox on a free with Bolton and Charlton having monitored his situation this year, Press Association Sport understands. He has already turned down a move to Southend in the hope he could still play a part at Rangers and feature in Europe, before they went out of the Europa League to Luxembourg part-time as pro Greenedacorn. Charlton made an offer for Forrester but nothing was finalised, while Burton have been linked but have not made an approach. Forrester was told by Rangers boss Pedro Caixinha 2 months ago he had no future at the Ladbrokes Premiership club, despite having 2 years left on his contract. The former Doncaster midfielder also disputed reports in June he had been suspended by Rangers for a poor attitude. "By writing on Twitter, rumours and reports that I have been suspended are totally false and inaccurate." Image SNS1358 KEYV and Paris Saint-Germain are still keen on signing Alexis Sanchez despite Arsene Wenger's claims the forward will see out his contract in North London. This is according to reports from Sanchez' native Chile, where he has spent most of the summer. The 28-year-old returned to North London earlier this month but played no part in Arsenal's Community Shield win over Chelsea. PSG signed Neymar from Barcelona last week in a world record €222 million deal, but El Mercurio claims they still have money to spend on Sanchez. Dani Alves and Neymar, both former teammates of Sanchez at the Nou Camp, have reportedly contacted Sanchez about joining them at the Parc des Princes. The report claims PSG would offer Arsenal £50 million and the player would be in line for around £236,000 a week, which is less than the current offer at Arsenal. Read on here. Image Arsenal FC 1343 Oxford United have signed midfielder Ivo Pikulski. The Swede links up with manager Pep Clotet, who he previously worked under at Malmo. "I'm very excited about this opportunity," Pikulski said. "I enjoyed working with the manager before and he talked with real passion about the project here, so I'm looking forward to it. I played 75 minutes on Saturday, so I'm fit and ready to play. I have always followed English football and I know this is a tough league, but I want to come and be part of what I'm sure will be a very exciting season for Oxford. 1340 Barcelona's president has confirmed that more players will arrive at the Nou Camp before the end of the transfer window, but added that not all of the money from the sale of Neymar will be spent on signings. The Spanish club received a world record €222 million after Paris Saint-Germain activated Neymar's release clause and now face the prospect of replacing one of the world's best players. Josep Maria Bartomeu, speaking at the Congreso Mundial de Penas on Monday night, reassured fans the money will be spent, though some of it will be spent on assets other than signings. "We will invest the €222 million with common sense," said Bartomeu. "We will invest it in players and assets. It won't all go on signings." Read more from Bartomeu here. Image Reuters 1322 Riyad Boudbouz is expected to complete a move to Real Betis today. The Algerian international midfielder has arrived in Seville to complete the move after a deal was agreed with Montpellier. West Ham have been interested in the 27-year-old's services, but Betis have always led the chase. He is poised to sign a 4-year contract with the La Liga club. Image AFP 1300 Juventus midfielder Mario Lemina is reportedly on his way to Southampton for a medical. Sky Sports report that Saints have won the race for his signature after Lemina previously held talks with Stoke. The fee for Lemina is expected to rise to around £20 million if all add-ons are met. Image Robert cianflone 1300 Liverpool far from done in this transfer window, according to ladbrokes. With Philippe Coutinho as short as 25 for a big money move to Barcelona, the bookies have been forced to slash the odds of both Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain and Virgil van Dijk moving to Anfield after a flood of bets. The Reds have leapfrogged Chelsea and are now 45 favourites to land the Ox, while 12 says Jurgen Klopp seals a deal for Van Dijk before the window slams shut. Alex Aparti of ladbrokes said it could be all change on Merseyside in the next few weeks, and while Coutinho is still a Liverpool player, the latest odds suggest he'll pass the Ox and Van Dijk on his way out of Anfield. Get all of the latest odds from ladbrokes here. 1252 Birmingham City have returned with a second offer for Bristol City defender Aidan Flint, but have cooled their interest in left-back Joe Bryan, report the Birmingham Mail. Blues saw an opening bid rejected for the Robins defensive duo last week, an offer Bristol boss Lee Johnson described as derisory, but Harry Redknapp has returned with the goal of snaring 6 feet 6 inches defender Flint. Johnson left Flint on the bench as Bristol began their championship campaign with a 3-1 victory over Barnsley on Saturday, and told reporters afterwards that Redknapp's decision to talk publicly about Flint had annoyed him. Image Birmingham Post and Mail 1159 Carlos Bacca is determined to return to Sevilla, according to reports. The 30-year-old striker left Sevilla for AC Milan in 2015 but has never truly settled in Serie A, despite scoring 31 times. Bacca had a record of about a goal every other game for Sevilla during his first spell at the club. And Corriere della Sera report that Bacca is determined to head back. He also reportedly turned down the chance to sign for Galatasaray earlier this summer. Image Getty Images 1134 Robbie Fowler has warned former club Liverpool over the chances of capturing one-away Southampton defender Virgil van Dijk. The Van Dijk released a statement on Monday expressing his desire to leave the Premier League club and that he felt insulted by the suggestion he had refused to train. Fowler told the Liverpool Echo it was obvious that Liverpool were in for him, but I'm not sure what will happen now. It wouldn't surprise me if another couple of clubs came in for him, the likes of Chelsea and Manchester City. I don't think it's plain sailing for Liverpool. In the early days it was us who were courting him and it looked like he was going to come, but it's been quiet for a good few weeks and the transfer request might prove a catalyst for others to enter the fray. I think he's a great player and we're trying to compete on a number of fronts this season, including the Champions League, so it's important that the squad is right and we strengthen. He'd be a fantastic addition, but until there comes a point that the club come out and say they've got him, I think it's a little bit raw talking about him given what happened with him and Liverpool earlier in the summer. Image PA1116. Patrick Roberts will reportedly tell Manchester City that he wants to return to Celtic on loan. Roberts spent last season at the Scottish Premiership champions, playing an integral role in their unbeaten league campaign. Southampton and Nice have been among the teams considering a move for Roberts, while Celtic have maintained their interest. But messages from the Celtic support appear to have helped the England youth international make up his mind, as he wants a return to Parkhead for one more year. Image PAY.1108. Newcastle United have sent young defender Callum Williams on loan to Gateshead until January. Williams will gain vital first-team experience with the Heat as they bid to earn promotion from the National League. The 20-year-old is the fourth Newcastle player to join Gateshead on loan in recent times. 10:47. Barcelona boss Ernesto Valverde insists that Bacca are ready to keep fighting for the targets and are prepared to pay the going rate to land them. He has openly admitted that Bacca are looking to replace Neymar following his world record transfer to Paris Saint-Germain, but he is happy to work with what he has got for the moment. He has been a great player for Bacca, but he is no longer here and we have to look forward, Valverde said. I'm not interested in looking back. We have to look at the players we have and solve problems that can arise to win matches. At the moment, I have some players in the team who are performing well for me. We will see if anything develops. We know that this club, like every other club, moves accordingly to the market. I am focusing mainly on what I have, the rest is up in the air. Image Reuters. Albert Heyer.